Erkut Ayvaz is a researcher at the SETA Foundation. He joins us now live from Berlin. Thanks so much for speaking to us. Tell me, what did you read into this meeting? I mean, do you feel the two shared ultimately more in common than they disagreed on, or was there some tension in the body language there?
Hello. Actually, we have to say that the bilateral relations have been on a better way as compared to previous years. And if we compare these last years, where Turkey's relations with Germany had reached very tensed and fueled conditions, we should say today, first of all, that we have to compare all these happenings with the times before this tensed past. And if we look at today's meeting in Istanbul, where Chancellor Angela Merkel has arrived in order to inaugurate a new campus of the Turkish German University, which is also an important symbol for both countries' bilateral relations, which have been boosted in the past. So we should talk to the recent happenings as a 50-50 and limited but a positive step for the future in order to solve crisis in Syria, but also as well as the crisis in Libya, which is threatening both the European countries, following with Germany and of course with Italy, which are facing difficulties in order to face potential migration flows coming from the Libyan coasts. And if we look to the detailed results of today's meeting between both head of governments of both countries, we should be careful to make any sharp conclusions, but the fact is that both countries are willing to solve the Libyan crisis by accepting the internationally recognized government in Libya, which is the Sarraj government. And the problem is here that we have to combine all our knowings, and the European countries have to dictate the putschist Khalifa Haftar to accept a ceasefire in the long run. And the interesting thing is, as your correspondent had pointed out, that President Erdogan has once again stressed that the putschist Khalifa Haftar did not formally sign the ceasefire agreement, which is an important detail. And as I recently tried to state, the government in Germany, as well as other European governments like Italy and maybe in the long run also other countries such as Russia, have to dictate the Haftar government, the Haftar militia and his militia, to sign the the ceasefire agreement and to build a peace process in the long run.
Right.
But today we should be careful to make sharp conclusions.
Yeah, it's just a bit confusing as to why there would be any difference of opinion on Libya between Germany and Turkey. I mean, one is an officially UN-recognized government, the other is not, as acknowledged by the UN and by Germany. But I wanted to ask about something else. I mean, what about the perception, and they were asked about this in the press conference, that Germany protects these alleged terrorists wanted by Turkey? Angela Merkel said, well, you know, it's not about how I feel, it's about the decision of our independent courts. Is it really? Because that is a serious issue for Turkey that has long been disturbing the Turkish-German relationship.
The German Chancellor also stressed that in Germany in the last months stressed and emphasized its fight against the PKK terrorist organization, which is also officially terrorist organization listed in European and the US. So we should also compare these efforts with regard to other terrorist organizations or people who are affiliated with terrorist activities in Turkey. But in this sense, the German Chancellor showed and pointed to the independent German court. Actually, we have also to admit that German intelligence services or other organizations do very well knowing that these people are also protected or maybe supported by certain groups in Germany, and it's also a very disturbing point in the German and Turkish bilateral relations. Of course, these have to be seen in the long run, what Turkey continues to fight its fight against terrorism. But on the other hand, of course, Turkey consistently asks for support in its fight, also in Turkey and abroad against terrorist organizations.
Right.
This is a difficult situation right also here in Germany.
Okay, Erkut Ayvaz, we'll leave it there. Thank you so much for that from Berlin.